What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy and on this channel we talk about audio, video, and tech. And in this week's episode, we're checking out the Insta360 One X2. All right, so by now, everybody's seen 360 footage on YouTube and on Instagram stories, and it kind of blows people's minds. I got my Insta360 One X2 about 6 months ago and started posting to social media, and I instantly had tons of messages and comments about, oh my gosh, how are you getting that footage? Did you buy a drone? You know, it just, the results are pretty amazing, and it's got a really low learning curve, which is awesome. So, for those of you who don't know, the way that these cameras work is that it's not just one camera, it's two. So this camera has two lenses on each side that both have a 180-degree view, and inside the software, they digitally stitch together, creating a 360 field of view. So it's really, really cool, the technology behind these cameras, and I'm having a blast with it. I absolutely love these cameras. I think they're fantastic as an action camera. I actually took this with me when me and my family went out to Arizona and took it on some hiking trips and kind of documented our trip with it because I didn't have to worry about framing my shots. I could be with my family, I could enjoy what I was doing, I could enjoy the sights, and all I had to do was hold this camera out, and then later I could reframe it in post. So it makes it really, really usable, really, really fun, and you can get some really creative shots with it. So a big question comes up, are these better than a GoPro for an action camera? And I would say they're not better, but they're definitely different. I think GoPros, they still have their use. I will still always have a GoPro in addition to this. But this just allows you to get some really unique shots that you can't do with a GoPro. So I think they work hand in hand. I think if you are somebody that is into action sports and you like using a GoPro, then a 360 camera might be a good addition to your camera setup. So I absolutely think they go hand in hand. They just do different things. So I think these cameras are ideal for people that are maybe solo creators, that do more maybe action sports stuff and they don't want to have a big bulky camera, they just like action cameras. It's great for behind the scenes footage on shoots because you can set it up, you can let it record, and it will capture, you know, the entire scene. So you don't have to have a separate person running a B cam there to capture behind the scenes footage. So instead of just talking the whole time in this video like my GoPro video, why don't we go out and actually capture some footage and put together a sequence, and I can show you guys what the editing process is like and how easy it is to capture footage. All right, let's go. All right, what's up guys? So now we're outside. We've got our One X2 and our extendable selfie stick, and we're gonna get a few shots to put together the sequence for the end of the video. So, wow, it's actually really cold out here. Hold on. All right, much better. I brought my skateboard along. We're gonna cruise kind of up and down this path here and capture some different angles using the X2, and then we will jump back into the studio and edit our footage and put a little sequence together. Let's do it. All right guys, I think we got the footage we needed. Let's head back to the studio where it's warm. All right guys, so now that we're back in the studio, in the computer here, we're gonna pull up Insta360 Studio. You can download this for free on Insta360's website. You can edit your 360 videos from your phone as well, and there are some options you can do on the phone app that you can't do in the Studio app, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm gonna show the Studio. I do actually like working with the Studio version a little bit better. It's a little easier to see what you're doing. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna import everything on the storage, but what we can do is we can click the plus button here, and as you can see, it's gonna pull up from our SD card all of our 360 videos. So I'm gonna scroll all the way down. You'll notice that there's two files with the same name, and well, basically with the same name. You'll see 10 and 00. That is each camera. So this is like the front-facing camera. This is the rear-facing camera. But when we click on one and open it, it is going to pull in the other video as well, so you don't have to do that. This video here, I have already done some editing on, so you're gonna see my keyframe points here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna click and get rid of all those, and we're gonna start from scratch here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna drag it back out because I did trim it down. So now what we've got is we've got our clip here, and it's gonna show basically from just one camera angle view here. So just kind of going down the road, but I can click on the screen and drag it around, and I can reframe the video. So this is showing everything that it's capturing. So it's kind of nice that you can kind of go there. I trimmed the beginning a little bit. The clip was kind of long, so I usually trim the ends off here. You can see me messing with the selfie stick. Okay, so then we can decide how the view starts. So let's just have it start on the road view, and just a few seconds in, I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna add a keyframe, and I'm gonna drag it around to what I want to see. So that's kind of a cool shot. So what it'll do is it'll start at the point you want, and it will start rotating towards that key point as the video plays on. Now, if we're not happy with that, we can drag this point out a little further. So I would want it to kind of maybe drag a little slower, maybe something like that, so it doesn't seem so jarring. Then I can stop here. I can add another keyframe. I can turn it here. You've also got these controls. So you can do a crystal ball, the tiny planet view, fisheye, or just more of a flat view. Fisheye kind of looks cool on these cameras. It gives you that kind of action camera effect. And then you can drag any of these points here and change how it looks. All right, so maybe we like that. Great. We can continue on. Can add another keyframe. Flip over here. You can also change the transition line here. So if you want it to kind of just do a smooth fade, if you want it to fade in, fade out, slip in, slip out. So different options on how the camera transitions. You've also got a speed control here. So if you wanted to add some speed, we can speed it up 4 times. I made it really tiny. You can drag it out to where you want. So let's say maybe I want it there. So now it looks kind of like I'm going super fast. It also has the motion blur, which is nice. You can turn on and off to get more of a realistic kind of speed effect. You've got deep track, which is kind of cool. So if you frame your subject up here, click deep track, I can select myself and I can hit start track, and that is going to keep the camera focused on the subject. So again, another super useful tool in here is to be able to kind of track yourself no matter where you're moving. So that's primarily how it works. And then what you do is you can export this video, and it's going to export your stitched video as either a 360 foot video. So if someone has the capability like a phone, you can actually pan around in the video, or you can click reframed video, which is what I typically do. You can change your bit rate. I usually turn it all the way up to get the best resolution. And then this is the max resolution it will export at. It'll show you the encoding format, so H.264. And then it has some like After Effects. You can do color plus, which in my opinion does not look great. Remove grain, I always click. It does just do a subtle denoise on the video. So that's kind of nice. And then you can export it to obviously whatever location you want. So lots of stuff you can do in here. Again, you can change speed, you can do active track, you can reframe your video, you can export it in different frame ratios, you can take snapshots from it. So it's really, really useful. So what I typically do is edit in here. I export everything out to an MP4 file, and then I bring it into Final Cut and do the edit. Okay, so now we're in Final Cut Pro, and I've already drug our footage in. I found a track I want to use for our sequence, and I've done some editing on some transitions and added some effects here. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out the video. All right, guys, before we wrap up this video, let's talk about who this camera is good for. Like I mentioned earlier, this camera is fantastic for social media content creators. It's great for videographers and photographers that want a behind-the-scenes camera, and it's really just great for anybody that wants a really fun, creative camera to use. The price point's fantastic on these. They come right in around $400, so they're accessible to most people, and they don't need a lot of accessories. You don't need to buy extra lenses or all sorts of crazy mounts and things like that. Really just the camera and a selfie stick will do a great job for you getting some really fun and creative shots. I absolutely love this thing. It's super fun. You know, a couple of the downsides to it, as everybody should know, image quality is not super high end. Again, it's fantastic for social media. It gets the job done, but it's probably not something you're going to use, you know, for a client or in a professional setting, because again, it's a 5.7K camera, but they do divide that resolution between both cameras. So you're getting about half of that per camera, and then again, stitching it together, I think it only lets you export at about 2K, but it's a very soft 2K. So again, you're gonna compromise a little bit on the image quality, but again, for social media content, it's awesome. Super fun to use, super easy to use, and I can't say enough good things about the camera. So, all right, guys, that wraps it up for this video. Again, if you found the information helpful or you liked the video, please like and subscribe down below. It would really help me out. All right, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.